Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to be looking at hemoglobin and measuring hemoglobin. So I have a hemoglobin scale here. Remember, your hemoglobin is what makes your blood red, and it's in your red blood cells. So we have to look at a whole sample of blood. The blood that we have today is actually horse blood from Dr. Roach's horse. And so we're going to be evaluating the hemoglobin content on the sample. The sample's in a purple top tube. The purple top tube is simply just has an anticoagulant in it to make sure that the blood doesn't coagulate in the test tube. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the color of the blood. And the way that we do that is we take a sample using a pipette. We're going to put it on this Tallquist paper right here, this little strip. We're going to let it dry just a little bit. And when I say dry, it just, as soon as it loses that shininess to it, we're going to start looking at the numbers on the scale and comparing the color. So this is horse blood. This scale is going to be a human scale. So when we look at normal here, our normal is 14.1 to 15.6 grams per deciliter is essentially what it comes down to. So what we're going to be looking at is just trying to see what the hemoglobin content is in the horse blood. Once again, can't really compare it completely to human blood because it is slightly different, but the method is still the same. So just a drop of that blood onto the Tallquist paper. We're going to let it dry for just a minute. We just want it to lose that shininess. If we let it dry for too long, it is going to change color, and we don't want that. So as soon as it loses that shininess, we'll go ahead and compare. Okay, now that the blood has lost that shininess to it, the way that we can do it is we can actually place that sample underneath and kind of compare the colors. So that's the first one I'm going to look at, kind of normal. I know that it's not that one there. If I go back down, it's a little more red than that sample is. This one is kind of close as well. And then as we continue moving down, you'll notice that these colors just don't match at all. So it's really going to be between this 10.9 that I'm seeing here and the 14.1. And the 14.1 actually matches better. So the hemoglobin is a 14.1 grams per deciliter. When we're looking at this, which if it's human blood, it's normal. Horses, I'm assuming, is going to be normal as well. And so once again, we're using the Tallquist method. That's just the name of the paper. And that Tallquist method is just looking to evaluate that hemoglobin. Once again, 14.1 grams per deciliter is what we saw.